Welcome to Thought Cops, coming to you live from the mean streets of Neo Chicago. I am Officer Kevin.
And I'm Officer Grant. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, smash the notification button.
Boom!
Ring the bell so you get alerted to new episodes. If you do all that, it makes it so we can keep making these videos every week. And for bonus episodes and more, head on over to patreon.com/thoughtcops to support the channel. It literally keeps the lights on. Oh, thank you.
Very nice, Grant. How are you doing?
Fine.
All right, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We had a wonderful time together in person last week, Grant. I saw your new place. We had an episode with no guests, just the two hosts for a change. But this week we have a guest on the show, a very special guest, might I add. Somebody who just hit 9,000 subscribers on YouTube, Grant. Can you believe that?
No. Yes. What do you want me to say?
Whatever comes from your heart, man. Just be honest. Be real. Welcome to Sephiroth Sword 57, a.k.a. Seph-sama. How are you, Seph?
Konnichiwa. I am doing pretty well. I just I had my breakfast a little while ago, so it was a good timing.
What did you have for breakfast? Might I ask?
Oh, some gohan and sakana, and a bowl of miso soup.
Isn't that what you had, Grant, for breakfast today?
No.
What did you have?
I forget.
This guy can't remember what he had for freaking breakfast this morning.
Man, it's how you know you're getting old.
Yeah.
You know?
So, Seph, we had your brother Dave on the show before, but this time we're doing something different. We got you with us today. A veritable internet celebrity, a YouTuber, again, who just hit a huge milestone. No, actually, hold on. You're gonna, Seph, I know you love anime. You're gonna love this. Your subscriber count is currently at over 9,000.
It is actually in the manga of Dragon Ball. It's actually over 8,000.
Well, that's still applicable. You are over 8,000.
Now you know. Yeah, it's
I don't know what they changed it. I guess it's because it's a higher number, so it's more impressive. I guess.
I wonder if they changed that for America. Do you think, Grant? Like they were just like Americans are going to think 8,000, that's not so much, but 9,000, that sounds like a lot.
9,000's easier to yell, I think. Like you can't yell eight. It's a soft vowel.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So they had to change it. Yes, it makes. I guess in when it comes to languages, it would make sense. But in Japanese, you can hear him say too. Vegeta, you can hear him say, Hatsenjora! That's what he says.
That's powerful.
And that sounds great in Japanese. So it's kind of coming together.
Yes, it's loud and yes, so I guess it's I don't particularly like I recently found out about Dragon Ball and what they did to it in the West.
What did they do to it?
They changed the name of a lot of characters. A lot of the names were changed. Some are completely nonsensical.
Like who?
The first one I got really annoyed by is Mutendoshi.
Master Roshi, right?
Yes, but that name doesn't make sense because Doshi means master.
Master. It's like ATM machine.
It doesn't make sense. I guess the localizers didn't know Japanese.
Yeah, I don't think they didn't know a lick of Japanese.
No, it seems like it. Very, very strange. Also,
is there anybody else?
Kuririn, they changed the name of Kuririn to where.
What's that supposed to? What's
Kuririn? I don't remember correctly. It might be Krillin, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we call him Krillin here. I think it's because
that's what it is.
Kuririn is kind of hard for like maybe kids to say in America. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
I think that might have just been like trying to, it's for kids. It's a kids show, so they were trying to like make it like something that kids could say.
Oh, well, I never had a problem with it.
Well,
that's fair.
Some of us are different.
So it says here, you're a singer, musician, writer, actor, filmmaker, YouTuber, martial artist, reviewer, and expert in Japanese culture.
Wow.
What martial arts do you do? Mr. Sephiroth.
Oh, yes. I would prefer Seph-sama or Sephiroth Sword 57.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Or
my bad.
You can call me Seph-san or Seph-kun. That's okay as well. I prefer Japanese honorifics personally, as I do identify a lot with Japanese culture, so that's why.
Did you feel from a young age that you were like when did you first find out about Japan?
Did you hear that song that was I'm turning Japanese? I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. Did you hear that at a young age and then take that to heart?
I don't know what that is. No,
okay, that's fine.
But I have watched anime since I was 5 or 6 years old. But at the time, I didn't know it was Japanese. It wasn't until later that I saw that. Oh, this is not. I don't recognize these areas, these cities, these school uniform things. I've never seen that.
It's a little bit different over there.
Yes, so I was curious. I was who do people wear school uniforms here? I never saw it, and I was looking around for people if they were wearing school uniforms, but nobody did.
And then you figured out that must be somewhere far away. That's how they do it there.
Yes.
Okay.
And but it wasn't until I was 14 years old when I found manga in my school library.
Okay.
And I started reading Naruto. They had Naruto and Dragon Ball, and I read all of those there. And that's when I knew, wow, Japanese culture is amazing.
It truly is, right, Grant?
Yeah.
And, yes.
Yeah.
And it's that's good because that's going back to your question. That was right after that I started training martial arts as well.
Ooh.
Right. So which martial arts are you?
I started with karate. I did a little bit of karate when I was around 12 or 13 years old, but I didn't take it seriously until a few years later. And then I did judo. And after that, I did jiu-jitsu. And I started kenjutsu training on myself. That is the kenjutsu is sword training.
Right. All the Japanese ones.
Yes, Aikido. I also did. I have tried out a couple of Chinese martial arts, Chinese Kempo.
Were they just not? They just weren't as good.
No, they don't work at all.
Okay.
Kung Fu is completely unreliable.
Have you tried Taekwondo? It's Korean.
Yeah, that one also. That one also is not very. It's not very good because that's the reason why it's more of a performance martial art these days. Is because you hurt your feet.
Okay.
You have a lot of nerves in your feet, and you mostly just kick with your feet, your side of your feet, and it's the way that they use their technique. You ruin your feet very fast.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes, so it's not same with a lot of Kung Fu or Chinese Kempo. Is that they use techniques that are thousands of years old. It's Chinese Kempo has 4,000 years of history, and they use techniques back in the day when they came up with fairy tales, how they can punch through mountains and such.
You think that's a fairy tale? It didn't really happen?
Well, at least not a normal Chinese person. They would not be able to just punch through a mountain.
What about a Japanese person?
Maybe a super heavenly person could potentially do that, but when it comes to Kung Fu, is that they have techniques that they don't really work. There's so many videos online of even low, brutal, barbaric MMA fighters can just beat these kung fu guys with no problem.
Right. They call these McDojos is what they call them. I don't know if you're familiar with the term McDojo.
I've never heard that. No.
You go and sort of like the dollar menu at McDonald's. You just go and you pay for your little belt, and then someone beats you up, and McDojo.
Okay.
McDonald's.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't particularly eat McDonald's food or go to McDonald's. It's unhealthy food, and it doesn't taste very good.
Well, have you been to McDonald's in Japan though? They got a whole different menu.
Oh yes, I have. Yes, they they have a few interesting selection there on their menu.
Yeah,
I've seen it. And I also tried when I was there in 2016. They had a unique sakura and chocolate flavor. I believe it was a pie.
Ooh.
It was
we should have that here. We actually, you know what? We have an international McDonald's here because we live in Chicago. We're in America. We have an international McDonald's here, and then sometimes they do have items from the Japanese menu. They have items from all over the world.
Oh,
if you're lucky, yeah, they have a Japanese item.
They should do. They should stock with Japanese items.
Yes, because I went to Japan myself. I wanted to talk to you about that because I went to Japan a few years ago, and I had wasabi fries from McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
That's a little different. That's a little different.
I bet I have not tried those.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they had them when I was there, but we mostly didn't spend time in McDonald's too much.
I was there for half the trip.
Really?
Yeah, I went there all the time.
Typical American, am I right? Typical American. Oh, I gotta have what's similar to my country. I need more of that.
I got sick of sushi. I got sick of it.
There's ramen. There's skimen. You could go and have. There's all different kinds of restaurants. There's also there's also a bunch of different ones. You can get Wagyu.
I guess. I mean, you could also get a McDouble at McDonald's. It's a lot cheaper.
Japanese food is really cheap, though.
You know what? You are right about that, though. I was surprised. I saved up a lot of money for that trip, and I actually didn't spend as much as I thought I was going to. I ate at McDonald's a lot. I ate at 7-Eleven a lot.
Oh, yes, the combini food is really good.
Yeah. KFC also went there.
I've never had. I don't think I went into that. No, but I would like to have a KFC for Christmas in Japan.
A KFC Christmas?
Yes, on Christmas, the Japanese people usually go and buy KFC.
No,
I've already learned so much. I know.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting to learn this much so soon already into the episode. I'm honestly fascinated.
Yeah, what is the KFC guy? What is he?
Colonel Sanders.
Yes,
I don't know if there's like a Japanese version of his name or not, but
I don't. I think it's just Sanders. They have him there, and they usually dress him up in a Santa hat. And
yeah, I went there in the spring, and they had a statue of him outside.
Yes,
a statue of him standing there. We don't even have that here. KFC is an American restaurant, and we don't even have the Colonel standing outside the restaurant. That's what they do in America. They are in Japan. They do America better than we do. If you can believe that.
Oh, interesting. I've never been to America, so I can't compare.
Yeah, I mean,
but, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, so I wanted to talk a little bit about your YouTube career because that's how we know you. We saw your YouTube videos, and we wanted to reach out to you to have you on the show. And you know, you recently hit 9,000 subscribers, and you've been on YouTube for a long time, right?
Yes, I recently hit 9,000 subscribers on my 9th anniversary, the same day.
Okay, so hold on, let me do the math here. That's about.
Go ahead.
That's about.
You got it.
That's around like 1,000 subscribers a year.
Yes.
Wow.
More than two subscribers every day.
Incredible.
I think we're on 100 a year.
Oh, yeah,
for YouTube.
Yeah,
we have an audio feed, so.
Sorry, it's a sort of a sore subject for us, Seph.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you will. With this episode, we might be gaining some swordlings.
Ooh. Yeah, no. For those of you, so for people who are listening that know us and they don't know you, swordlings, that's what you call your followers, basically, people who subscribe to your channel.
My loyal fans, yes.
Yeah, and I wanted to go over some of your, because you have a Patreon, and I wanted to kind of go over some of the, because you have like tiers of fans. I'm trying to find it here. Seph 57, Patreon.com. Yeah, creating Sugoi content. Did I say that right? Sugoi content?
Yes.
Okay, I want to talk to you about this too. I'm learning Japanese right now.
Good.
A little here and there, because I'm going to be honest, I went to Japan. I didn't know any Japanese. I had to act like a baby and point at things on the food menu. And I want to go back and I want to be respectful and know the language this time.
Yeah, stop shitting his pants.
Yeah.
Yes, good mentality. That's the right way of thinking. And I am glad that you felt like you weren't that you were doing something wrong when you went there last time.
Yeah, I left with a lot of shame. Yeah.
Good. That's because there's a lot of Westerners that don't, and they're angry that they don't speak English to them.
And,
like that Logan Paul guy, right?
Oh yeah,
that's disgusting filth of a human. Yes.
It's safe to say we don't like Logan Paul either. He would not be a swordling, but you have tiers. You have tiers of followers. You have super swordlings. Then you have Damyolings, which donate $100 a month to your Patreon. And then you have, I was going to ask you, got some other ones here. You have Organization Swordling Member, which is $1,000 a month.
Yes.
And then the One Swordling, which is a $10,000 a month tier. How many people are signed up for that?
I had a couple of Daimyolings in the past. Now, unfortunately, all Swordlings currently are also they're training to become stronger.
Oh,
so
okay.
I guess they live away from the not a lot of them are career people. They probably train a lot of martial arts and focus on themselves and their body. So they mostly just don't spend money on or they can't spend a lot of money on on my Patreon, and I can understand, because I'm also a martial artist, and I understand that it is a path that you take that's it's not a career where you have a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, as long as that's what it is, and they're not, it's not something else.
Yes.
So you're essentially the opposite of this Andrew Tate guy, right? Kind of like the antithesis of Andrew Tate.
I have heard that name. I don't know that guy. Who is that guy?
He's a kickboxer. You could probably beat him with your kenjutsu, I think, probably.
Kickboxing is not. It's a rough,
subpar, right?
uncoordinated. Yes, it's not. Yeah. It's nowhere near the kind of martial arts that I've trained over the years. So it could, unless he has maybe 50 plus years of experience with it, I couldn't imagine he would stand much of a chance against the superiority of Japanese martial arts. No.
Yeah. Well, he's not a very good guy, so it kind of make he wouldn't be if he studied Japanese martial arts. I think he would probably change his ways.
Yeah, maybe he'd learn he'd get humbled, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, okay. I see. So he's not. He just has. He has a weird mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it. So I want to ask you, with your YouTube career, what is like the number one thing you've learned in your journey? 9 years of making videos. What have you learned? What can you share to people who are, see this episode and they think, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to study Japan. I want to put videos out there for the world to enjoy.
Well, I have learned that YouTube is incredibly baka right now.
Oh.
What does this mean? What is baka?
It means idiotic or stupid.
Ah, right.
But
Gotcha.
it's a shorter, more direct word. So I use the word baka.
Yeah, that's a little easier to say.
Yes. Get the point across fast, and the people and it has different meanings. It can be idiot, or it can be garbage, or yes, along those lines. Something that's just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But yes, things I've learned. Well, I was already very experienced, I will say, when I started. So I've gotten questioned during my streams at some point where people ask, which one of my old videos do you regret? Do you look back in shame?
Mm.
And no, I was already good at analyzing video game and video game design and talk about Japanese culture. So all my videos are from the first one are still good to this day.
Yeah. It's kind of like for people who like don't know this kind of video, it's kind of like Pro Jared kind of stuff.
Oh no,
right?
I wouldn't say I'm like Pro Jared. He's a bad reviewer.
Oh, okay.
It's a bit, although he does like JRPGs. He is a Final Fantasy fan.
Okay.
But I can tell that he is only.
I said there's 1 point for Jared. You know, he's got good taste.
Yes, it's not too bad, really. But he some games he just doesn't know what he's talking about. He did say that Sonic Adventure 2 is a bad game, a terrible game, which is just objectively wrong. So he can't just keep it objective. He just says it's bad and doesn't give a good reason for it.
And then the first video I ever saw on your channel was the Sonic Adventure 2 review. Now that's a game I loved a lot growing up, and my friend showed me this video. Actually, just about 9 years ago, and I actually want to be honest. He linked it to me from a blog that was like it was a collection of like cringe videos.
Oh,
and you were like, it was like, oh, this is a cringy video. You know, get a load of this guy.
I've seen that. I've seen people use that word. I never understood the meaning of that word ever.
There's no Japanese translation to cringe.
No, not what. I've never heard that word in.
Well, there should be
until I saw my comment section, and I saw that word being used a lot in my earlier videos. I don't see that nowadays, so I don't know. Now maybe that was just during that era that people used that.
Well, you know, I think the more videos I saw from your channel, I started to realize this isn't cringe. This is genius. I was thinking about video games in Japan, and anime and manga in a whole.
These are the things that
way.
Take up a majority of Kevin's time is thinking about these things.
Yeah, and I saw that video and all your other videos, and it changed the way I looked at these things. It made me think about them in a whole new way. Like you said, more analytical mindset.
Yes.
And, you know, I just want to say, you know, thank you for that. That was, it changed my life.
No problem. I'm glad this is what I do. This is what I do YouTube for. To have Westerners realize how much better Japan is, so that they could potentially we could implement a lot of Japanese ideals into Western culture.
Yeah, I Grant, would you agree with that? I think he's onto something here.
Yeah, like what?
Well,
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you leave, let's just say, Granto-san, what do you have? What is a precious possession of yours?
I had a piano next to me. That's worth a decent amount of money.
Okay, you take that piano and you put it outside on the street.
Right.
And you forget it there. And the day after you think, oh no, my piano. And you go out and get it. Is it still there?
Maybe.
Not here. Depends. I don't think it would be.
It depends.
I would worry.
I would assume it's gone. Well, in Japan, it wouldn't be gone. It would still be there. And the reason why is because Japanese people don't steal stuff that's outside. They don't take other stuff outside.
That's it?
But that's one of the things.
Oh, okay.
They don't. So imagine if you leave your wallet on the ground somewhere. A Japanese person would pick it up and they would go with it to the nearest police station or police, what do you call them in English?
Receptacle.
Yes, where there's police officer station.
Yeah, receptacle, yeah.
Yes, and just turn it in. They don't even open it up or anything or look through it. That's something we need more in the West.
I agree.
I'll be honest, Kevin's talked about how in Japan there's no garbage because people just take the garbage, they just hold it in their hand. They don't throw it onto the street. There's times where I would like a garbage-less street. That'd be nice.
Yes, that's also a very nice thing. And I'm sure, Kemi-san, you can probably back me up on this. There aren't a lot of garbage bins in Japan.
There's not. No, I had to carry that garbage for a long time so I could find a place to throw it away.
Yes, and still people didn't litter.
Yeah, I kind of wish there was more though. I mean, I
heard that there was like a bomb that was in a garbage can in like the 90s, and then they said no more garbage cans.
Why did that happen?
Well,
yeah, why did that happen?
I'm not sure. It must have been some kind of terrorist act.
Kind of like a mistake.
Maybe. Yes.
Oops.
Could have been a mistake.
It happens.
Yes, but garbage bins can be found outside of combini in Japan. They always have it there, and you can put away cans or anything else that you have. But yes, they're very. No, they don't want to litter in Japan.
Yeah,
and I would say we're pretty good with it here as well here in Sweden, but it could be better. It could still get better.
Yeah. So you're trying to like make Sweden more Japanese?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been trying to be in contact with the Japanese ambassador here in Sweden.
Oh wow.
I do follow him on Twitter, and Gomen. I mean X.
Yeah. We still call it Twitter. You know.
Do you think it's cool that it's called X? Because you could like take a sword and like make like the letter X sort of thing. Like, is that?
Oh, that's cool. Yes, I do think that's interesting. But I don't think X sounds very cool as a name.
Yeah, I know.
No,
that's why I tried posting towards Elon Musk and tell him to have it officially be called X.
What did he say?
Oh, that's much better.
Yes, that sounds a lot cooler.
How is he receiving that? Was he like?
He hasn't said anything.
Oh.
Well, I know Elon's tweeted before. He said, quote, "I heart anime." So, I mean, maybe there's a chance to get through to him.
I had to unfollow him because he was posting a bunch of I followed him because he was posting about anime before.
Yeah, he's an anime fan.
Yes, and I thought, wow, this okay. It could be posting something great on here, but then he started posting weird Western memes, and it got weird, and I stopped following. Yeah, so it got boring and weird.
Yeah, he is very boring, I would say.
Yes.
Well, speaking of the Japanese ambassador, do you know the American ambassador to Japan is the former Chicago mayor?
Who?
Oh, okay.
Rahm Emanuel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
A couple of years now. He rides the trains out there. He just drank the Fukushima water that they just treated and put back into the ocean.
Yes.
I would hope that he would have taken, well, I guess he's not mayor anymore, but hey, I wish he was, not for any other reason, just because I want him to take the idea of the train system in Japan and bring that here. Because, Seph, we have pretty good trains in Chicago. One of the best cities in America with a public transit system, possibly the best. And I went to Japan, I rode the trains in Tokyo, and I'm like, this is way better. We got to take this and bring it home.
And they're punctual too.
Train.
They always arrive on time.
That doesn't happen here.
And they have to, because it's so hectic and people have to get on the trains in the morning. If the train is even 20 seconds late, they have to issue an apology. Because people are in need of the.
Well, when the train is 20 minutes late here, they just yell at us.
Yeah.
Like it's my fault.
That's not good.
It makes me feel bad.
Treat your customers.
No.
Well, I've heard that trains are so crowded in Japan that they have to segregate them by gender sometimes. Is that true?
Well, it's not because they're so crowded. It's because there was one or two times where there was some hentai on the trains.
Oh no!
Oops.
And they were doing some nasty things on there, so they thought, well, we can't have this. We can't change how people are or how they think. So it's better we take action. So they have female cars on trains. For those and only for females, and then you have the shared ones for the rest.
I mean, I gotta hand it to them. At least they did take action. They did do something.
Yes, they do that when there is an issue, and we still don't know who these weirdos are. They could be Japanese. They could be Western tourists.
That's possible. I didn't even think of that. That's totally possible.
Fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Japanese people, and it could be. They could be from anywhere. We don't know. But they did take action because that's. They have the Japanese people. They protect them first and foremost.
Yes.
That's good. I mean, in America, we have like a school shooting a day, and there's people in our government that will say things along the lines of like quote, I forget who said this. Is like some guy in Tennessee. He said quote, "We're not going to do anything about this," and then that was it. He just left it. He just said, "We're not going to do anything."
And that again doesn't happen in Japan,
right?
No,
makes you think. Seph,
although sometimes you make a gun out of a stapler or something, and you assassinate a former president.
Yes, the Abe killer, the maniac.
Yeah, and I saw your tribute to Shinzo Abe on your YouTube. It was very touching.
Yes,
you drew him. He's like a Bleach character.
Yes, that was I made a tribute to him. That's right, and yes, he had some good ideas. I I know some people were mixed on him, but there was mostly Westerners.
Like the guy who shot him.
Yeah, that guy. I think he must have hated something. If I remember right, I think he had some conspiracy theory about him being part of some cult
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah,
but it turned out to be false, and he was just a maniac.
Oh, oops.
We have a whole lot of those here too. We got a lot of maniacs, a lot of people who believe in conspiracy theories. You know, it's like you said, Seph. You can't change people. People, no. You have to just respond to how people are and change the system.
Yes. Which is why I think implementing Japanese stuff into Western culture is good. We already have restaurants and stuff in the West.
Yeah.
Maybe introduce chopsticks in schools.
Ooh, that's gonna be a great idea.
Yes,
I think there's a lot of
introductory videos in Japan, for example. They use this. There's a lot of Japanese anime videos. They use this. They're made by famous studios, and they make these introductory videos or just teaching videos. Just could be good for the school system.
Yeah, I think educating. You know what? I would have paid attention a lot more in school if they were playing anime. That's all I could say.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do like that children in Japan get to they have to like clean their classroom, you know?
Yes.
I like that.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do it, but I get it, you know? Because it's like it's your space and you're responsible for your space, and we just underpay janitors here. We pay them like less than minimum wage or whatever, however that works.
Yeah, and they can clean up after the kids, and the kids can grow up to have that mentality, and then grow up to run the government.
Exactly, and you always see in Japanese media, they're always taking those brushes and they put their hands and they run across the floor with the brush. That looks fun.
Yeah,
yeah, that's very common also in the common cleaning technique that they used back in the day in temples and stuff, places that were big, where there were big areas, because you could clean very fast that way. I would like to try that when I go to Japan next. I want to go around. I don't know.
Mm. You see, I was hoping it'd be pretty soon because I saw you were in an anime recently, and I thought that they would be like, "Hey, get your butt over here." We saw you in Punch Forever.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yes, yes. I was invited by Speedoru Dono, who's a long-time swordling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with Speedoru's cartoons. I've been following him on YouTube for a long time. And I was watching his latest anime, and when I saw you, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, is that who I think it is? And it was you, the Japanese emperor. What an honor.
Yes, that was very fun. That was great. And he said he'd been wanting me for quite a while in his animations. And he said he had a perfect role for me.
Now, I did want to ask you this because, you know, and this is kind of a touchy subject for some people, but I wonder, I couldn't help but wonder if, you know, I saw you were playing the Japanese emperor. Would that role have been better suited to maybe a Japanese YouTuber instead?
Japanese person?
It could have been. There are a couple of Japanese YouTubers that could fit it better, but I do think that a lot of Japanese people, they don't want to they don't want to take that stance of saying they are the emperor.
Oh, okay.
Because some people could potentially offend Naruhito-sama, the current emperor. I'm sure that Speedoru Dono thought the same. So he thought, well, the next best thing would be Seph-sama.
Yes, and
he thought exactly that. Yeah,
I think so. Yes,
right.
Yes,
because he's been also following me. He's a loyal swordling and has been following me for years.
That's an honor. Now, you said this is an anime, right?
Yes.
Punch Punch. But is Speedoru is he Japanese, or I don't know much about his personal life.
Well, there are a lot of. He is a Westerner, but he is someone whose style has been influenced by anime, and he uses anime in a very and you can tell by the animation quality, the designs. His style is very, very anime.
Yeah, I just was concerned because, and I do agree with you, Seph, but I think that, because, if, for example, have you heard of a cartoon called Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yes, I have heard of that.
It looks a lot like anime, right? It's very deceiving.
Yes.
But it's not even made in Japan. It's made in Canada.
Canada?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that is so disgusting.
It is. It's awful. It's obviously trying to trick people into thinking that it's not anime.
Mm-hmm.
They trick them into thinking it's anime. Mostly because a lot of Western animations, they're very Westerners in general in that industry are very jealous of Japan.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they always complain about Japan because, well, when you're so jealous that you can't even reach their level, you start attacking them instead.
That's simple psychology. Yeah.
Yes. At least for Westerners.
Doesn't anime as a word translate just to animation? Isn't every animation
in Japan?
Anime?
Yes. The word anime in Japan is used for animation in general.
Right.
In the West, when we talk about the Japanese animation, we use the word anime. So that's why I also use that word to describe it.
So Family Guy, for instance, not an anime.
It's not an anime. It's not a Japanese animation. But if a Japanese person would see it, I guess they would use that word to maybe describe what the media form is.
It's a little confusing though, because if I heard that Family Guy was anime, I would expect a very specific art style, and if I saw it, I would be very disappointed.
Yes, it's something that we in the West have decided we use these words to describe stuff, but in Japan doesn't care really what the West uses in pop culture or what the terminology is being used.
Yeah, but it's interesting though, because a lot of Western media is actually quite popular in Japan. Like, I don't know if either of you know, but there is a bar in Tokyo called the Drunken Clam, and it is a Family Guy themed bar, because that shows you there are numerous Japanese Family Guy fans who love it so much they made a bar.
That's probably because it's a very niche, and they are very, very dedicated. And the bars in Japan isn't opening a bar is not really a hard thing in Japan. There are many bars, and if you might have noticed some bars there are only maybe 3 seats.
Very tiny.
Yes, some bars are very small. Some are bigger. I went to a bunch of them when I was in Japan, but opening up bars is not it's not very hard. So I'm sure if there are some niche, maybe they are connected to some Westerners who live in Japan to share that with, and maybe there's some Japanese people who for some reason have been indoctrinated into liking that kind of stuff instead.
Oh, what's wrong with that kind of stuff?
There are a few Japanese people that betrayed their own culture to be with Westerners. Like that.
Like Hideo Kojima?
Yes, like Mr. Kojima. Exactly.
Yeah. Now, speaking of anime, though, if people watching this, they can see I'm recording at home. I got my stuff. I got my toys next to me. I got my posters. I have a Serial Experiments Lane poster behind me, and I bought it in Japan for the anniversary.
Oh, that's great.
Now, our friend Grant over here.
You're wearing an anime on your shirt right now.
Yes, I wore this anime shirt because I know you love anime so much. You're a big fan of. You must be a big fan of Hayao Miyazaki, right?
No.
Oh.
Why?
Miyazaki is a baka who hates anime. Have you seen the video where he complains about about a bunch of anime?
Yeah, we saw that. We talked about that with one of our recent guests who actually he made a video game that's also very anime inspired. It's called Class of 09, and all the characters are drawn like anime, but he told us he doesn't even like anime. He thinks actually most of it's bad. And he still made his characters look like anime characters.
That's wrong right there. They're wrong on that.
Yes.
But that's very strange. That's a strange thing to do. Why would you emulate a style? Maybe it's like one of those Avatar people that use it to like for
Avatar,
attention's sake. Yeah, that's what it seems like to me.
But not like Speedoru. Just to be clear, not like him.
Because he uses Japanese seiyuu. Those are voice
right.
actors.
Yes,
he uses a writing style that's very Japanese. He follows a lot of ideas that are common in anime. So it is as close as you can get to an anime in the West while respecting the media. Which is why when I wasn't sure before when I got the invitation, but once I saw the storyboard that has all the voice acting in it, I knew, wow, this is something else.
You did your homework.
Yes.
No.
So now, yes, I'm glad I was part of that.
It was a great cartoon. I loved it. And I love
anime.
Anime. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry.
Embarrassing. Do you think you don't think Miyazaki is like any sort of like point of view that's, he's a professional in the field?
Yes, he is. He is definitely talented, but he is very un-Japanese. He's very narcissistic. Everything
I think he's pretty Japanese,
but not in behavior. His behavior is very selfish, which is not a Japanese trait. And he thinks everything should go his way. He even walked out on his own son's movie.
I know. I heard about that. How horrible.
Yeah, what a despicable human being. Absolutely. That's awful. You know what? If you're disappointed by in his I guess his son in this situation, you would not go to the media. You would once the movie's done, you sit down with them and you explain, well, you see, it wasn't very good. Here's what you should have done instead.
Yes.
That's what you should have done.
In the family. Let's not tell everybody that I walked out of the theater of my own son's movie. And his son, who went into cartoons or went into anime, probably because of his father. He's like, I respect my father. Keyword, respect my father so much. I want to make my own anime. And then he does, and his father walks out.
Maybe his father's just against the idea of Nepo babies. You ever think of that?
Do you know what that is, Seph? Or
I have no idea. No.
Grant, can you explain it?
No. That's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay, fine. Well, I want to move on. I want to move on. Like I said, I got all my stuff displayed behind me very proudly. That I got my toys, my figurines, my posters, and our friend Grant over here. If you look at his room, he's sitting there.
I don't have any toys.
I don't see a single toy behind him at all.
Well,
and you too, actually, for that matter. I'm just looking at a white wall right now.
I think his camera's a little bit pointed up.
I have stuff right here.
He's got his toys.
Look at that.
Are they my figurines?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Let's call them, figurines.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And we got Josuke from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We have Sephiroth, of course, from Final Fantasy VII. And your very namesake, it's no surprise you got a figurine of him in your room because you must love him so much. You must have played that game a million times.
I have, yes. I've played it ever since it came out in 1997. I have played it multiple times a year. I have.
Wow. Bit of a tradition then, yeah.
Yes. I always finish it once a year at least.
And as we can see, Grant's room is stark white, empty of anything besides a corner of a piano I can see in the side of his camera. Not a single toy, not a single poster, nothing.
Well, some might say that I am a 32-year-old man.
That's no excuse. No, Seph, could you explain to Grant why anime and figurines and why it's so amazing? Because, Grant, he has said he does like some. He likes Cowboy Bebop.
It's a good show.
It's pretty okay.
Okay.
You think that's overrated?
I think yes.
I like it, but I don't know as much as you.
Well, you see, it's an anime that was made specifically for Westerns.
Oh.
So the writing style is it's not bad. It's well made, but there are definitely themes and some writing style that is very more Western focused, and it feels like it is not as good as something like Ohayooo, for example.
Have you seen that one, Grant?
No, I don't know what he just said.
Ohayooo, you should watch that one. That is a really good one. Let me read out the title. You might know the full title. Hold on.
Yeah, this might ring a bell for you. Hold on.
Yeah, take your time.
Yes, it's called. Let's see. It's a long title. Mark.
What was that?
The computer is slow.
Oh. Well, if you can't pull it up right now, that's okay. I'm sure Grant can find that.
Okay. So it's Ore no imoto ga kona no kawaii waka ga nai.
Oh, yeah. No, I've heard of that. Yeah. No, I've seen that.
I believe the name is...
It's my favorite one.
Oh, really? I've seen
it. Yeah. All of it twice, actually.
Okay, yes. It has a very powerful ending. So it's... it is something you want to rewatch afterward to get the second viewing. A lot of shows do that, where they end on something amazing, and then you're like, wow, now I gotta rethink the whole series. What actually happened earlier? You have those moments before when you watch something?
Probably, yeah. Sure.
Yes, and you watch it again. It's wow, yes, it's great. I'm sure there's someone watching as well has seen this, so will know what I'm talking about.
Let us know in the comments who your favorite character was too.
Yes, Ohayooo. Yes, it's really good.
Grant, who was your favorite character, by the way?
My favorite is Kirin.
Yeah, okay. Mine also was that too. So I just
okay.
Well, that's really
good.
nice.
Good taste.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to I hope that I've always been trying to get Grant to watch more anime. I'm showing him stuff because
weird thing to try and force upon your friends, but
Well, I enjoy it, and I thought maybe we could connect a little more on like different types of media. And I thought, I told Grant we actually have a Patreon show ourselves. It's called Fire Bros. And we review different types of movies or TV shows or music or anything. And I had Grant watch Serial Experiments Lane for the first time.
Okay.
And I think he liked it a little bit.
What's your opinion on that show, Seth?
It's been a long time since I watched it, but I remember really liking it.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of themes that people have brought up that's very it's very topical today. Mm-hmm. A lot of the things that happen in it, even though it's older. It's a good one. Yes. It's good. And now my personal favorite is Naruto.
Grant, I know he's seen that one. Come on now. Come on.
I've seen it.
And you loved it, didn't you?
I'm doing the run. That's the most efficient mode of transportation is you throw your arms behind you and you're totally aerodynamic.
Do you know why that technique was invented for ninjutsu?
Because it's faster. It's a much more efficient form of running, I assume.
Well, yes, technically, but that wasn't the reason why. The reason why is ninjas or shinobi use a lot of weapons. They hold a lot of weapons in their hand, and especially if they're running with weapons, the most safe way to run when you're holding like a katana or ninjato in your hand,
right,
or a kunai, is to not hold them in front of you, but to hold them behind you. So if you run fast, maybe you fall over or run into something. It wouldn't be good to have blades in front of you.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Why does Sonic run like that, though?
Because it's part of Japanese culture a lot. It started from shinobi, and then it has just it's shown up in a lot of different media and such. It's just a way to show that someone is running fast. It's a very normal way in a lot of Japanese media, or in Japan in general.
What you're saying is when my parents used to tell me, don't run with scissors, that they were wrong. What they really meant to say was, don't run with scissors unless you're Naruto running.
Yes, that's what you should have said. But you probably didn't have that information. Yes, you probably didn't have that information back then, sir.
Yeah, I wouldn't beat yourself up too much about it.
No, it's true. It's not. It's not surprising.
Yes. Seph, I actually want to get your opinion on something because I know you're a bit of a gamer. You like a lot of Japanese stuff,
I do like video games, yes.
Yes, and last week we talked about something that was important to us, is that Charles Martinet was stepping down from the role of Super Mario after almost 30 years. And I wanted to know what you thought about that.
Why does that matter?
Well, I know you like Japan. Nintendo is a Japanese company.
Well, they're not. They don't make Japanese games.
Oh, I mean, I thought that. See,
what kind of games?
Okay, so Nintendo follows a games design philosophy that is not Japanese. The way they create games is not through creativity, and there's no soul put into their games. But the reason why they make games is to sell them for money and to manipulate as many young people as possible to play their games. Okay. They are purely a company that just wants money. And they even work with criminals to get their way. And they have been.
I heard that Sega also works with Yakuza.
No, they don't.
Why do they make all those games about them then?
Because the games are about how cruel the world of the Yakuza.
Oh.
The games in Japan is not called Yakuza. They're called Ryuga Gotoku, which means like a dragon. And it is about someone who has quit their life as a Yakuza.
Do you think that those games were made inspired by the Yakuza members that were working with Nintendo to promote their childish games?
Yes, I think so. The Yakuza, I guess I can explain really quick. So Nintendo back in the day, in 1889, they were working with the Yakuza.
That was when they were doing playing cards, yeah.
Yes, they were making playing cards for gambling, and they had a very tight relationship with the Yakuza. Now, one of the important things is that once you start working with the Yakuza, those ties don't disappear. You can't just quit a partnership with the Yakuza.
Yeah.
They are ruthless, and they are criminals.
They'll cut your pinky off.
Yes. Yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
And there's when okay. So what that means is that Nintendo has been working with the Yakuza, keeping that secret for the public, because they can't. Because of course they can't just walk away and say we're done. We're just gonna continue. They've probably borrowed a lot of money from the Yakuza to get the company started to begin with. So they have connections there. They have deep connection with criminals, and I would bet that a lot of their board members or a lot of their higher ups are Yakuza members.
Is that why you don't like Nintendo? Is it a moral thing?
Yes, I would never buy a Nintendo game or put any money towards that company.
You never played Jumpman Mario? You never you press the A button, he jumps real high, you go, ooh, this is hitting all the dopamine centers in my brain. I want to spend hours on this.
I did play when I was younger because a lot of people had a Nintendo. The old Nintendo. This was early 90s, so I don't know which Nintendo. It doesn't matter. But I did try them, and I was like, wow, I'd rather just go home and play Sonic.
So you feel like Nintendo games are kind of like for little kids or babies?
Yes, but the reason why this manipulation has worked with children is because you have these games that are clearly meant for children to be able to play. Right? And yet you see men in their 30s, they sit with a bunch of Mario things in the background of their shelf.
Well, hold on. I also have Sonic. I like Sonic too.
Great.
I like both
Sonic
of them.
are great games.
Yeah.
That's good. But yes, there are adults who play those games. They're clearly meant for children, and it's like, wow,
it's disgusting.
What has gone wrong? Why are you still playing at children's? Clearly meant for small children, and you still play them. It has to be Nintendo is doing something with their games to make that happen. That doesn't happen with other children's games. That are clearly people grow out of them because these are just bad games. They are just they are
meant
for children.
A younger age bracket.
Exactly. There are many games like that people grow out of, and they start playing JRPGs and cooler games.
Okay. And like JRPGs, that's something you never grow out of, right? Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, it's timeless.
Yes, there's so many good different ones. There is a JRPG for everyone. Okay. Some of them might be more action focused. Some of them might be tactical and intriguing, turn-based combat. Some of them...
What do you think about Earthbound? Is Earthbound a good JRPG?
No.
Damn.
That's a Nintendo game. But it's the creator of that is... I guess he had to work with Nintendo. So Shigesato Itoi is the guy who... And he is... the reason why I know of this guy is not because of that game. It is because he is a writer and a celebrity before he even made that game.
He's a bad... I think he is a bad Japanese person because he's worked not only with Nintendo, but Hayao Miyazaki as well. He was in My Neighbor Totoro. He was the father.
Yes, exactly.
I think I'm starting to pick it up.
Yes, he has done... I do think he has done good things, but you can see that he has very poor judgment of these nefarious, these evil people, and he doesn't realize that he's working with these people, or he just doesn't care. It's either way. I hope it is the first one. I don't wish that someone is evil on purpose.
People can be like we talked about earlier. It's the nature of humans. People can be corrupted. People do bad things, but they have to be fixed. They have to be corralled. Yes. They have to be put into different train cars.
Like a lot of my swordlings, my fans. a lot of them has said, wow, I finally got rid. I watched your videos and now I've gotten rid of all my Nintendo stuff. I threw it all away. A lot of them have said that, which makes me very happy. It means that I make an effect on people.
You see, I'm sitting here. I'm excited for the new Mario.
No,
the new Switch.
You shouldn't play it. Don't give in.
Kevin's one of these 30-year-old man children that plays Mario. I would never play Mario.
You're being manipulated, Kevin-san. You're being manipulated by Nintendo.
I don't know what to do. I'm so deep at this point. I don't know how to get out.
I know it might seem hopeless, but
do you have any katas he can follow or anything to sort of like purge his spirit of?
I am developing currently my martial art. I have some different kata there, and there's some harai rituals that I could teach you, but it's not proper developed yet, so I can't. But do you have a Nintendo Switch, Amazon?
I do, yes.
You should throw it away.
As soon as we're done here, it's going in the garbage. It's going in the garbage.
Just don't sell it, because then some other people
might get their hand. Yeah, you could really ruin somebody's life. Yeah. Well, one thing I have actually been doing to kind of, because I've been watching your videos, I've been trying to fix this problem. I've been playing some other video games. I've been playing my PlayStation more. I've been playing a different game for my PlayStation called Bloodborne. No. It's not for babies. It's not hard, or it's a hard game. It's not easy, and it's Japanese. It's by the PlayStation. It's Sony's Japanese studio.
No, it's made by From Software.
And what's wrong with them?
They all their game design philosophy revolves around Westerners. They have Western game design philosophy. They turn their backs on Japanese culture. You shouldn't play that game.
This is all so confusing for me to follow. I feel like every time I think I'm doing the right thing, it's always wrong.
You should play Trails in the Sky.
Let me look that up here.
Yes.
Would you say that a lot of Japanese culture, though, however, is influenced largely by Western culture? I mean, you got a lot of protagonists that wear a cool baseball cap and a jacket, and they're supposed to be the cool guy. There's that trope's everywhere.
Well, the baseball caps, they exist everywhere, don't they?
Well, that's true. And baseball, Japanese people.
Well, I
baseball.
feel like baseball is as American as apple pie, though.
Is it?
So, that's what I've been told.
I'm pretty sure it's Japanese.
Is baseball Japanese?
Yes, it's a very popular national sport in Japan.
I did see
like sumo.
I did see that episode of Samurai Champloo where they play baseball, and I'm assuming that happened a long time ago before America existed. So,
well, actually, I found something here. It says baseball evolved from older bat and ball games already being played in England by the mid 18th century. This game was brought by immigrants to North America, where a modern version was developed. And I guess Japan must have saw that and was like, we got to get it. We got to get that by us. They haven't figured out. America's got it.
I guess that's what it is. It started in one area and then it spreads out. So
sure.
But that's the thing with everything. You like we've seen with that Avatar thing. It's a fake anime targeted towards Westerners, trying to mask itself as
the more fake baseball, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know anything about baseball too much, except for Japanese ones, the rules. So I don't really know. I can't answer that question. But
yeah, that's fair.
I don't really keep up with Western cultures except my own, really, and old history. I guess that's the only. Yes, I don't keep up with Western culture. So, yes.
Well, but before we sign off here, Seph, I actually want to show you something. we were talking about our figurines, our collection. This is one of my favorite figurines of all time. I don't know if you can see this, but this is Bill Clinton.
Is it Norio Wakamoto?
No, this is Bill Clinton.
Oh, I didn't see the
president of the United States of America, and it's also got a little. It's not just a toy. It's not just a figurine. It's also a corkscrew for wine. And this is one of my favorite. Okay. This is one of my favorite figurines of all time.
It doesn't look that well made, but
I mean,
not compared to. Look at you have. Look to your side there. You have more.
I got Monkey D. Luffy up here. I got.
Oh yes.
I got. I actually. You know what? You're gonna love this. I have a figurine. This is a Japanese figurine. It's a Nendoroid.
Nendoroid. Oh yes.
From the movie Clockwork Orange.
Oh, that's a great movie.
You like, even though it's a Western movie, you like that.
Yes.
Why is that?
I like Kubrick.
Okay. Is he well regarded in Japan?
Yes. Yeah, he is. The same with. I do like. I think that's my favorite Western director. Yes.
Okay.
It's him and David Lynch. I have liked in the past.
Yeah, Dave. I hear that Twin Peaks is quite popular in Japan.
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched it when it was airing back in the early 90s.
It's a long time ago.
Yes. I believe we got it out. You
must have been just a little kid, huh?
Yeah, I was 8 years. It did come out a few years later because it had to go through licensing. And back in the day, it was hard to get. You had to go through licensing, and then subtitles had to be added.
You probably watched the one from America, went to Japan, and then came to you with the Japanese subtitles on it.
It could be.
Okay.
But no, it wasn't. It was in English, and it didn't have Japanese subtitles. But but you don't know. They usually add a couple of stuff into Japanese stuff. Maybe it's more sound effects. They fix mistakes and stuff. They do that a lot with movies.
Yeah, Star Wars on Japanese Laserdisc.
Oh, did
that was another one too.
Did they fix stuff there?
I don't know. I heard people say that is one of the better versions of the old movies. The Japanese Laserdisc version. I don't know. I haven't seen.
I think that has to do with like the rights of like who owns what based on when sort of thing. Because as newer versions came out of like the DVD version, George Lucas started sticking his fingies into things. And so I think in America, it's like the VHS versions are like the top tier sort of thing. And so I guess, yeah, maybe the Japanese Laserdisc.
Oh, let's take that again, Grant.
The Japanese Laserdisc version, maybe like the same cut of the movie. I think
could be right. I think you might be right.
Seph is playing with his action figures right now because it's boring.
There was missing. There was a part missing. I noticed that right now.
What's missing?
It's a part of the uniform is missing. I don't know if you can see. There's supposed to be a part here that's missing on this side. I don't know what.
That's not good.
I have to go look for that.
Well, before we let you go to go look for that your toy figurine, there's a lot of people have been watching your videos. People may be familiar with Thought Cops and seen your channel as well, and they have a question. And this is a question I see a lot from people who comment on your videos. Is your channel satire?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I made a video recently already talking about this. It was the question is right there in the title of the video.
Sorry.
No. It's I've been asked
kind
this
of offensive
question.
That he would ask that, right?
I feel like you should have looked. I have it. The first Q&A, I answered the question. The last video, the last Q&A that went up, have that question, which was a few days ago. I've answered every time on stream. Everyone says it. At this point, now that you asked me directly, I had to answer it, but I am ignoring it in comment section and in my chat.
Okay, sure.
From now on, because it's been asked billion times.
Yeah, but I kind of get it though, because like I said, when I saw your video for the first time, it was in a cringe compilation, basically, and it was either this is real and it's cringy, or it's satire. And I for a long time I couldn't figure it out, and then I figured out it was actually a third thing. It was something transformative. It was educational. It was worldly. It changed me.
Well, yes, that's good. Yes, that was my intention with it. But yes, it is not satire, and I'm saying that it is not. It is. I don't know why people come to the conclusion that I'm just. I guess they don't understand that it's just objective thinking. Sometimes they just refuse to see it.
I mean,
I guess.
Well, it just okay for anybody who's watching this or listening to this episode. If you're wondering this, please don't comment below any of his videos or on any of his streams and ask him this question. There you have. The record has been set straight for what I can only assume is the millionth time.
Yes.
I apologize. I usually listen, I put a lot of, I take this job very seriously. When I interview people, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or offend anybody. And this is a Thought Cops first. I don't think I've ever hurt anybody's feelings on the show before. I apologize.
No, it's fine. It was a misunderstanding. They most likely wouldn't have asked that question if they knew. It happens. But even if they do ask it in the comments, I would just ignore it when I see it, and they will have to look it up themselves.
Sure.
That's just how it has to be.
So can you let everybody know where they can find you on X,
yes,
on Twitter, on YouTube?
Yes. On the internet, I go by Seph57. On YouTube, on Twitter, it is, or X, it's Seph_. And those are the platforms I use mostly.
Yeah, and I mean, and I gotta say props to you for staying around on X, because I know there's a lot of terrible discourse. People are saying, oh, I like One Piece better. I like Bleach better. I like this better. And
yes,
nobody understands that all anime is good.
Yes, exactly. That's what I've been trying to say. Why? What is the point of just arguing against you? You're all the same.
Yeah,
you all like the same stuff. You would enjoy these other series. Why don't you just watch it and enjoy? I guess it's just the violent nature of Westerners. I guess this doesn't happen in Japan.
True.
This
you
kind
know
of
what?
discourse.
I actually just remembered, Grant, we have a voicemail for Seph.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, somebody saw this and wanted to call in and ask a question.
Kinda, yeah. That sort of happened a little bit.
Somebody called us.
Somebody did call us, and you can hear his voice now. Also, if you would like to leave your own voicemail, 312-788-7361. Send an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com, or you can just pen a little letter and stick it in the mail. But here you go.
Hi, this is your old pal, Brian. I just wanted to complain about something real quick. So I saw that you guys are looking for people to talk about anime or Japan or whatever, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about. I just want to know why, and I want it to stop. I want to know why people like me are being shamed across the world for wanting to get off an airplane as soon as fucking humanly possible. Because listen, I'm going to stand up out of my seat as soon as the plane lands and gets to the gate. And they say you can take your seatbelts off. I'm going to do it. And I don't give a shit if you don't like it. Because I need to get off this metal fucking tube that's been flying in the sky as soon as possible. There's no room on the plane. There's nowhere to put your shit. If there is space to put your shit, it's too compact. You have to sit in this fucking seat that's got barely enough room to breathe and exist. You got to sit by people who won't shut up. You got to hear screaming babies. You got to have people drape their creepy hair over your seat when you're trying to use the tray table. You got people leaning back. You got the fucking drink thing hitting the drink cart hitting me in the shin or in the elbow when it's trying to come by. I want to get off that fucking plane. Let me leave. And people are like, oh, I hate when people stand up when the plane lands and they want to get... I just want to leave. Like, why do people want to sit on the plane? Get off. It's time to go.
Yeah, that's like the least
and
of anyone's problems.
If people got a problem with that, they can fucking talk to me. Okay?
All right.
Because I'm getting off this plane as soon as possible. And if standing up in the middle of the aisle and being obnoxious about it means I get off the plane 1 second faster, I'm going to do it.
But that didn't have to do with me.
No, I think you just... Sometimes people just need an outlet.
Yeah, and we're kind of here for people because it's rough out there. And, you know, this you might relate to this. I mean, you fly back and forth to Japan. It's a very long flight.
Oh, well, yes, once.
Well, you land in Haneda Airport or Narita Airport. It's a long flight. You want to get off there as soon as possible, right?
Yes. Yes.
But you got to wait. You got to wait for them to bring out that tunnel so you can get off. When you're not even that high up. You could just jump off the plane and
yeah, they want you to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see the problem.
Well, yes, I can understand the frustration, I guess, but in Japan, the service is exceptional. I didn't have any problem when I stayed at the Haneda Airport. When everything was smooth and everything went the way it was supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, but you do have to wait.
Maybe they're a little bit impatient. Maybe they need to be a little patient with
and this comes back to what we were saying before. The nature of human beings. You know, you can't change people. People can be impatient. But
I gotta say, as he was like listing off all the things of like why airplanes suck, I was getting a little bit of like my anxiety was sort of like wavering a little bit because I hate being on airplanes for all those reasons listed, and mostly it's too small, and I'm 6'4" and I weigh 230 or so pounds, and I'm a big person, and you know I don't like the whole, you know, you put your seat back. I get that you can do it and whatever, but I take up too much space and someone puts their seat back and it's right in my fucking face. And I cannot fucking deal with that. And I get that you can do it. And I'm not going to be one of these people that goes, no, well, you should, like, the feature's there so long as I just think that the feature shouldn't be there because it kills me. And you do get that little bit of whatever. If I can, I try and get like a row to myself. You can do that on Southwest if you're lucky. Sometimes.
Well, they don't fly to Japan, though.
They don't fly to Japan. But if I can, I will go to Southwest. Seph is eating because this is boring him. But
no, it's okay. Keep going.
Is it a Japanese candy?
It's just janky. I don't know. I don't think so.
But I will say, yeah, like the whole like, oh, wait your turn to get it. It's like whatever. At this point, like, fuck off. You know, whatever. I will stand up as soon as I can because I need to. My legs have been locked into place for like 3 hours or more. I need to stand up. I can't do it.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Well, if that voicemail inspired you, give us a call, 312-788-7361, or send an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Or, of course, you can always send us an email with any questions or concerns or anything you don't want to call us on the phone for. Write an email out. We'll address it on the show for you. We're here for you. This is free therapy, more or less.
Kind of.
But it doesn't have to be free.
It's cheaper.
It doesn't have to be free if you donate over at patreon.com/thoughtcops. We got a ton of good stuff over there for you. Check that out. Seph, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm glad we were able to finally arrange this and, you know, talk talk shop with you.
Well, arigato for having me on. This was mostly a very, very respectful meeting here.
Oh, glad to
have
hear
you have you been on some other podcasts that were not so like respectful, or other shows?
There was I'm not going to say it by name, but there was one guy that was very confrontational or very racist about Japan.
Oh.
And I didn't like that.
Yeah, we don't do that kind of stuff.
That's
here.
disgusting.
We are all, respect is it's again a very Japanese tenet, and it's the number one thing that we talk about, or we instill in us as hosts. We respect every guest. We respect everybody who leaves a voicemail or a comment. We respect them. Everything we have.
That's good.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, that just about does it, everybody. Thank you for listening. Again, 312-788-7361. We'll see you on the other side.
See you, Space Cop. You get that? That's, and he's bowing.
Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop.